Yo, what's going on, guys? I've been a challenger player for over 2 seasons now, playing primarily Evelynn. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to dominate high platinum using Evelynn. I'm really excited to show you guys this game because all my laners really struggled and fell behind. Regardless of that, we found ways to put ourselves ahead consistently and carry. A really good start to any game on Evelynn is warding your opposite side jungle, starting your recall around the 56-second mark and laying your ward when there's roughly 1 second of your recall left. Be careful not to lay it on the outer part of the circle or you'll cancel your recall. Evelynn is highly susceptible to invades and being counter jungled. If the enemy starts on your buff or if they show up really early, you'll be in a very bad spot. Normally, you want to start with your bot lane for the best leash possible. Starting on blue side also does speed up your clear since blue side monsters don't have much magic resist, and having the blue buff speeds up your cooldown reduction. You will take more damage though since you're not getting the health regeneration from red buff. Pay close attention to the ward on the mini map. You'll have enough time on it left over to do either your red buff or your raptors, just one before it expires. Here I do my raptors into red, and then by that time the ward has expired when I start my red buff. I do try to pull my red buff into the bush and I use my sweeper to make sure there's no wards here. If you don't do this, if you just stand in the red buff pit, there's a really good chance the enemy jungler can show up and kill you. If Nidalee runs a 3-camp jungle route, she could have shown up and tried to fight me on my red buff. Instead, she showed up top side. In fact, it was very risky for me to do raps then red in this situation since Nidalee didn't show up on the mini-map before I started my red buff. She didn't go in for a gank. There was a good chance she ran a 3 jungle camp clear into an invade. If you don't see them on the mini-map, that means they're not ganking, which that's pretty much a 50% chance they're going to invade you. It would have been much safer for me to skip the raptors and go straight to red buff. By the time I finish taking my red buff, my ward would be broken, yes. However, taking golems or raptors is a lot less risky since it's not winner takes all. It's not just a single monster that you're going to have to smite fight for or get pushed off of. Plus, the raptors and golems are both closer to one of your turrets that you can retreat to and closer to your laners. I'm level 4 now, while Nidalee is still level 3. I held on the wall. I didn't want to show on the tri-brush because I didn't want to give vision of me to her. So I'm trying to get off as much damage as possible. The Evelynn Q buff's coming in hot. I get down lots of damage, low Q cooldowns. Rengar is low HP, and he doesn't have Electrocute or Conquer, so I know he can't kill me. All he has is Grasp. Even if he did jump out of the bush and used his Q reset properly, I knew he didn't have enough damage. Make sure you check people's keystones and items before you go in for fights. For those of you wondering, if Nidalee didn't try to regank, which was highly likely since Aatrox is low on HP, I would have just reset and continued a full clear from Gromp up to Golems doing a linear route. We're still going to go do that to maximize our golden XP. We did not buy a Dark Seal. I didn't think it was worth it. With the amount of gold that I had, I would rather get the boots and a Fiendish Codex. Nidalee is a tough matchup for Evelynn before you're level 6. So if we were already level 6, then yes, Dark Seal all the way. But I do not want to die. I want to maintain my pressure. And then once I'm level 6 anyways, I can get a Dark Seal since I start to counter Nidalee at that point. I have mid prow right now, plus we just killed Nidalee and have a gold lead. After Gromp, I'm going to rush out into Scuttle. If she rushes for this bot side Scuttle, then obviously she can't beat me. I have red buff and a gold advantage, so I'm fine for taking this potential trade. She doesn't end up coming though. She made the right move, and I can continue to power farming towards 6 and taking easy ganks along the way. Since I'm already in the area, I go to break the vision ward and see she's not on her raptors. That means she's still on golems while I was taking the scuttle crab most likely. So I'll hurry up, take the raptors. Garen didn't move towards it anyways, plus I had smite. I am getting really close to level 6. Garen left mid lane to try to follow my Yone's roam, so I went ahead, shoved mid, got the XP, and now I can go and do raptors and try to hit level 6 off of it. I'm really close to level 6, so I ping out I'm 91% of the way there. That way my mid laner understands why I'm trying to leech some minion XP. He goes in a little bit early. If he would have just killed the cannon minion or 2 normal minions, I would have hit level 6 and that would have been free. It's whatever. It cost me my flash and he didn't really follow up, which was also weird, but it is what it is. I'm level 6. He's shoving the wave and I want to try to get a flank behind him. That way we can pick up the kill. I am keeping a look on the map for Nidalee. If I see her or anything like that, she doesn't seem to be coming. I ping, I'm going in for the dive. W, run up. I actually charm him about a 10th of a second before it procs, but then again, it probably should have been me the one tanking since I can reset aggro with my R. It's fine though, because I can get some turret plates and then back off. Plus, I still do have my ult so I can make a play on the map, preferably bot lane since they're not level 6 yet. Unfortunately, the bush is pinked ward, which is going to ruin the gank. It's going to force me to back off. I could have ran all the way around and tried to do a lane gank, but since Janna wasn't there anyways, I didn't want to waste a bunch of time. In hindsight, to play it safe, I could have just done my blue buff and then done a lane gank. Even though I have a lot of gold, I don't want to return to base yet since I still have my ultimate. Going back to base while having your ultimate on Evelynn is a cardinal sin. By committing it, it doesn't mean you're going to lose the game, but it is a very bad habit to get yourself into. Garen's already getting low. I'm level 6. You know the rest. Even though my raptors are about to spawn in, it's better to back and get my full jungle item and then pressure the map, or just full clear off of my blue side jungle. By staying and lingering, I'm going to put myself in situations where I'll be weaker than the enemies, but by having my full jungle item, I can go gank any lane now and automatically have a huge advantage since no laner can really get a full item this early. I continue full clearing until I see Nidalee bot lane. Now I'm going to cancel my full clear and push straight into her blue side jungle. Since she only had red buff bot lane, I know that likely her blue buff and her other camps will be up, so I'm not just randomly invading her jungle. Even if she runs here straight from bot lane, there's no way she'll be able to get here in time. With that being said, I do not go for her wolves. It's just a little too risky because if she did base immediately and run straight over here, there's a good chance she would find me on wolves, and I don't really want to be in that type of situation. I check top lane's HP and I see Rengar is very low on HP. This is an obvious dive opportunity since I do have ultimate. I'm just going to come up behind the Aatrox, shove the wave in. I'm going to land my Q, hit him with my 𝐒𝐻𝐈, and he's dead. Unfortunately, Aatrox did get the kill, which sucks because he only has like a 20% win rate on Aatrox. But as long as Rengar dies and I at least get an assist for my Dark Soul, it's whatever. I put a charm on Garen to try to push him away. I have no intention of really fighting it. I do still hit him with the Q because while they're charmed, they move a lot slower than when they're not charmed. Got Yone out of that situation. My ultimate is on cooldown, so I'm not looking to make any big plays here. Nidalee is feeling really greedy since we put her behind. We're going to slice into her. She gets the kill on Yone, but then we finish her off. You got to love those Evelynn Q cooldown buffs, and that's more Dark Seal stacks for us. Since we're already in the area, I want to take golems. That way they can respawn at a higher level. I wanted to push Garen away from the wave so I could take Nidalee's raptors as she respawned. Unfortunately, got there just in time to get the big one. I end up wanting to stay after her raptor, so I farm a few of my camps. Since my ultimate's only about 30 seconds off of cooldown, by lingering, now my ultimate is off of cooldown and we're ready to gank. Put my W on the Rengar, and then we hit him with our Q, close the distance, auto attack E reset, and finish him off. For those of you who didn't know, Evelynn's E is a really strong auto attack resetter, to where if you auto them first and then you use your E, you can get a lot more damage out of it because then your auto attack is off of cooldown once your E finishes. We stayed to help Yone shove in the wave to get a little bit of extra gold and XP. It's also a great opportunity for me to take some turret plates. My ultimate is ready to use. Nidalee's missing a bit of health. I figured she would jump on the minions as I walked away. Hit her with my W, blue smite, 𝐒𝐻𝐈, and finish her off. Even with her red smite, she's so squishy that she can't survive it. The only way Nidalee can survive your burst on Evelynn is if she has Merc Treads and she has Banshees. Until she has at least 2 magic resist items, once you are level 6 on Evelynn, you are a hard counter to her. She only has a big leg up on you, levels 1 through 5. Even though I don't have 10 Dark Seal stats, I decided to get Mejaiah since I'm super fed and I know I can easily get a kill to get the 10 stacks. I do a bit of damage to the enemy bot lane and I want to save this turret. I got a bunch of minion XP as well. I let the enemy bot lane back in front of me because I know I can't one-shot them without my R, so I just wait as close as I can until they recall because I want to get to the Nidalee. I know she's in the area, most likely on golems, so I'm checking for the bush. I don't see her. I now know she's on golem, so hopefully I can get behind her and kill her while she's either on her red buff or when she goes to her raptors. She's actually taking the red buff really fast because she's kiting it out. So we're going to do a stalk and seduce play. We come up behind her. She has no clue we're here, obviously, since we're super deep in her jungle. W, 𝐒𝐻𝐈, and finish her off. Only reason I R'd is I didn't want her to potentially get away or maybe do like a heal red smite or something really weird. So just wanted to make sure I got that kill. I now have 10 Mejaiah stacks, which is perfect. And I can pressure the map without the risk of Nidalee attacking me. Whether that's taking Dragon, which I can't because my bot lane's not here, or farming my blue is just fine. I decided to take Dragon because the enemy bot lane left the area. They went back to bot, so while Nidalee was dead, it was fairly free. Get my charm on Garen, run it down into his turret, land the Q, E, and we did a big chunk of his health. We can now regank and kill him while he is low HP if we choose to, or we can just take this opportunity to give us the mid pressure we need to potentially kill Nidalee. I end up deciding that Nidalee's bot side jungle is gone. I don't have any top prio, so I don't want to invade her jungle. Instead, I'll farm my own jungle. Now, if my ultimate was up, I would have gone and tried to potentially kill the Nidalee. I see Rengar still top side. That's a potential gank. He looks like he's backing off. I'll just let him leave and recall. I can't get there in time if he does reset. Our ultimate's nearly off of cooldown. It looks like Rengar reset, so I go for my golems. And meanwhile, mid lane, Yone's getting spanked. So now clearly our best option, our easiest option, most reliable option is just to go mid and finish off the Garen. He's low on HP and I have ult. I can bag another for Mejaiah stacks. Garen, sure enough, stays. I'm going to just let him step up a bit, hit him with a Q, E, and R, and kill him. I did W in between to use it as a slow. Since I was in a hurry, I had no intention of really landing a full charm since I didn't need it. Plus, if I went for a full charm, I didn't really want him to have the time to react is the main thing. I just wanted to get the kill and get out. I didn't want to mess with it. If I came up behind him, I would have tried to land the full charm, but since I came from the front, it didn't seem like the most reasonable thing to do. I stayed and got the turret like you should do if you can. That's giving us map pressure, and I went to take her raptors, but then me bot lane rotated. My ultimate's down. I'm not looking for a big play. Maybe just take some of Nidalee's topside jungle since she was bot side and potentially kill her. I'm waiting in the area. I don't want to start on it if I don't know where they are. She walks into me, hit her with a QE, blue smite, and finish her off. And now, yes, we can try to take some of her camps, but instead the enemies are starting to try to push us off. My teammates end up coming and backing me up, so I do get the opportunity to not only get Scuttle Crab, but push back into her jungle to get her camps. She is still spawning in. Keep close attention to her spawn timer. It's roughly correlated with my ultimate. By the time she leaves base, my ultimate will be up, so I know I can clap her once she does leave base. We nearly get the kill on Rengar, which is fine. Doesn't really matter. My main target's Nidalee right now. Nidalee foolishly chases us for a bit. Her topside jungle's gone, and we know her raptors and golems are up, so we can stand in between her pathing. She won't realize it. We'll stand as close as we can to where she's most likely going to come out of, which is near the wolf area. We'll let her walk into us, hit her with a WQE, and finish her off with an R. This constant pressure not only demoralizes her and her team, but it gives us a really nice lead with our Majaya stacks, and it's the kind of thing that allows you to snowball in Evelynn. If you're constantly just only AFK farming, or if you're constantly just chasing kills and never farming, you're not snowballing optimally, and you still have a high chance of losing those games. If you've ever just power farmed on Evelynn, you'll know how many of those games you lose. And if you ever just do non-stop ganks, you'll know that you lose a lot of those games too, where you have like 20 kills. This game is a really good balance of farming, ganking, counter jungling, invading, and putting pressure on enemy laners when they step out of line. The main thing, if you guys have been paying attention, that you'll see is never once have I gone somewhere because a teammate has pinged me. Never once have I gone to do something because a teammate tried to pressure me into doing it. If I do something in this particular game, it was because I thought it was the right thing and the most optimal thing to do. If you just listen to your teammates and like be their butler, then you're going to struggle as a jungler, particularly on Evelynn, since she is a high octane jungler. And if you're not constantly snowballing and doing smart things, then you're going to lose. When I push up into this area, I have my sweeper on before I step up to make sure they don't know I'm here, to make sure there's no one in the bushes, and to make sure there's no words in general. That way when my teammates step up, I'll know how the enemies are going to react and how they're going to think. I know this bush isn't worded, so I wait, pull back to let her move forward a bit before her sweeper can kill me, which allows me to then step forward, kill her with a QE. This Nidalee can't really go anywhere in her jungle without threat of dying. I was thinking about flashing the wall there to kill the Garen. I just don't have the damage simply. I do want to regroup with my team and potentially try to get a kill. As we're shoving a wave underneath their turret, it gives me the flank option. When it comes to people on their turrets, they feel like the turret's really going to keep them safe. The enemies do end up clearing out the wave. We just didn't have enough minions is the main thing. So this is a good opportunity for us to take Dragon. For those of you wondering why I opted to go for a 𝐒𝐿 and an early Void Staff, if the enemy team has a really big frontline champion like a Leona or Darius or Garen, recently been using and having great success rushing down Void Staff since Evelynn already has so much damage on her Q, E, and R. I find that having the Void Staff really lets you tear through who you need to tear through, and against squishies you really don't need an early Rabadon anyways, to where Void Staff really gives you the best of both worlds. The reason why I opted for the 𝐒𝐿 is I had an awkward amount of gold. I only had like 1100, so I didn't have enough for the needlessly large rod, so I just opted to get the more damage anyways. Garen's bot, Rengar's top, Caitlyn just spawned, so I figured I'd fish her out with a Q, blue smite E, and kill her. Whenever you have a approaching minion wave, as long as you know all the enemies aren't there, likely someone on the enemy team is going to step up to try to grab the wave, and they're going to greed for it, thinking they're safe. Oh, I'm near turret. There's no way someone's going to fish me here and kill me. So those are really good opportunities. Now, here's the thing. If you can't manage to get yourself ahead early or mid-game on Evelynn, you can't do stuff like this. If you're behind, that would not have been possible. This is why it's really important that you guys pay attention to how I play the early game to build myself consistent leads. Because without building yourself those leads in the early game, fishing down lanes or just setting up different scenarios where you're hunting them down, it just doesn't work. Whenever you're really far behind on Evelynn, You just have to wait for enemies to make mistakes, for them to engage on your teammates, and for you to, I don't want to say KS, but for you to just finish people off and maybe get off a half decent charm. I have my E speed up. I just can't get away from the Garen. He silences me and then I'm just kind of fucked. This is one danger. If you are the hyper carry on your team and your team's really relying on you, it's important that you don't die. I greeted out for the Raptor, which in the grand scheme of things, what's even the point of getting the Raptor if it's risky? There's just no point of going for that, especially since my ultimate was down. They just got 1,000 shutdown gold on me, and they also got 10 of my Mejia stacks. We're really going to have to turn it up to carry this late game. A really awkward fight breaks out mid where Janet basically gets caught out of position, and then Yon tries to follow it up. It was a really rough fight. Luckily, the enemies decide they want to go for Dragon. I think they should have just forced Baron here. Them going for Dragon is actually a lot better for us. Unless it's Dragon Soul, which it's not. It's only their second Dragon. It doesn't really matter. It wasn't even going to be Soul for us, so it's not like they're denying us Soul. It's not like they're gaining Soul. I think they should have gone for Baron. Pay attention to top lane where the minions are at. They're shoving all the way up. Plus their blue buff was coming up, so I figured I would snag blue buff. And then I can lay a trap for them over here. Once again, minions and enemies, especially if they have nothing else on the map they can go for now. They already went for Dragon. They don't have time to go for Baron. I can wait in this bush. No matter who comes up, they won't know I'm here. There's no pink here. It's a free kill. I have my R, and I even have my level 3 in R now, which is awesome. Even if it's Caitlyn and Yuumi, it won't matter. Since I'm queuing from bush, they won't even have vision of me immediately when I queue. They'll just see my Q in midair, so I'm going to let Caitlyn step up as close as she possibly can. And then I'm going to smack her with a QE, boost my R into the wall. I would have killed Yuumi here 100%, but Nidalee kind of cut me off and made it harder. If none of the enemies came here, then I would have easily had like 2 kills since I had Sheen. And obviously, I'm very fed. Now that I've made a stack Caitlyn pressure, I'm going to try to cut them off from regrouping with the rest of their team. Of course, we find Nidalee again. I flash the wall, finish her with my Qs and blue smite. And yeah, this is why you don't typically 5v5 is Evelynn. She's best when the enemies aren't 5-man grouped, because if they hit you with a CC, you're pretty much fucked. She's best when people are scattered around, moving around, and then you just lunge in and grab whoever you want. You do have to get good at recognizing situations and understanding where people are going to go somewhere and why. But once you can start to understand that, you can start to carry more games. I get a lot of you saying that you're losing games where you have like 20 kills. And you're like, how am I losing? It's because you're not doing little things like this. When you do have the gold, that's the hard part, getting yourself ahead. Once you're consistently getting yourself ahead every single game, you'll start to learn more and more, like on these sneaky situations, and that's how you'll clinch games. Because this game, literally everybody on my team has more deaths than kills. Every single person. At most, they may break even at the end. That's why I really want to upload this, because I show you guys, as long as you play the early game right and you're not letting yourself die and you're laying good wards and stuff, you can still carry. I end up wanting to go for Rabadon over Lichbane, since I already have a bunch of Mejia stacks. If I didn't, I may have gone for the Lichbane. I don't typically go Lichbane. Once again, I literally only went Lichbane since I had a really weird amount of gold. Plus, the Sheen gives you bonus physical damage, which I thought was really nice since they're starting to build a bit of magic resist. So it was whatever. Plus, they have several squishies on their team to where I felt like having a Lichbane or Sheen would give me a lot of nice, consistent reset damage. Even if someone has Banshees, you can scrape it with your Blue Smite or Hextech Protobelt. Here, I was going to wipe the Nidalee, but Garen stepped up. I was just going to run up, throw a Q at her in midair, Blue Smite the Banshees off of her, and then wipe her instantly. But yeah, the Garen kind of ruined that. We already have their mid lane inhib, and I'm trying to tell my teammates to go top lane. It really makes no sense for them to be mid right now. In fact, if they all went top, I could catch stragglers on the enemy teams while they're out of position, trying to go top. So that's kind of what I'm trying to set up here. Our mid lane's going to push regardless. The enemies have a random vision plant, I guess, in the back of their base. That's an interesting spot for it to spawn. We can't really dive them under turret, especially if I don't have flash. The best thing we can do here is just let our mid lane push and then force the enemies to go defend it. We have a perfect R to get away from the Garen there. He kills the Aatrox regardless because, you know, Garen's super balanced and definitely doesn't need a nerf. As the enemies continue to engage, our minion wave mid lane is pushing, which is what we needed to wait on anyways. There's no reason to really force a fight. Luckily, Yon is also very balanced. He gets a kill, and our minion wave continues to push. I do have to pull off, though. I don't have my R. I don't have my flash. If I get hit by anything in terms of CC, even if it's a soft CC like a slow, then we're fucked. So I go to take another straggler position, try to get a choke on that area, but they have a pink ward. Otherwise, I may have been able to catch someone like the Rengar as he went to go the fast route towards the minion wave. can always count on people to be greedy and lazy and just run the fastest path to get to a minion wave or an objective, and that's usually where you'll stand and cut them off as they're on their way. I know Nidalee's red buff's up. I don't see her in her base anymore. She's most likely coming over here. Sure enough, I'm pretty sure she throws a spear out over here, or she just hits the vision orb. She realizes she can't fight it. I make sure I'm running away while I'm invisible just in case this area is warded, because if I do want to turn back around, I won't be able to. I end up deciding not to. For those of you wondering why, we saw Nidalee bot lane. It would make sense to go back, right? The only reason I didn't is because of the Rengar. His ultimate's going to be back up by now, and if he just thinks that, oh, Evelynn's going to greed out for Nidalee, his ultimate reveals me and I'm fucked. So I decided, you know what, bot lane isn't worth it. Baron's up. Let's let the enemies make the mistake. So I tried to let more time drag out. I see Rengar back mid lane. So I think, you know what, maybe Nidalee's going to go for golems. Maybe she's going to run the fast path to dragon. Dragon's up in like 5 seconds. And sure enough, here comes Nidalee. She's running the fast path to dragon. And yeah, we hit her with our Q. We blue smite, so our first Q lands. We get all that bonus damage, which is really nice. I do have to ult early, which is obnoxious because of the Garen. Garen's super annoying with his silence. That would have been such a free kill, but it does set us up a really nice dragon, which is still a successful play because we read that position. We were paying close attention to the minimap, and we knew Rengar wasn't there for his ultimate. I did want to back off here, but the enemies form up in this really tight pattern, which is absolutely terrible to do against an Aatrox and a Yone. As you can see, bada boom, bada bam. Yone pretty much 1v5'd them there. All I did was run up and do a bit of damage myself. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you absolutely dominate and carry high platinum elo, just through smart plays. The biggest thing I could have done differently this game was not greed out for the Raptor on my one death when my ultimate was down. And the second thing was, at the start of the game, we didn't know where Nidalee was, and our ward had just broken, and we went for red anyways. At that point, since we still hadn't seen Nidalee, we should have gone to our golems instead of red buff. She's less likely to check it. Other than that, though, it was a really clean game. I'm happy with how we played, and I hope you guys learned something. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. If you guys haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to the second channel, and if you want to come chat and chill, check us out on stream. I'll have links down in the description and pinned comment below.